do it. I need my phone. I don't know where my phone is. I hear it. Oh, it's on the table.
I believe that.
What is this called?
The Commonwealth Ball.
But I just said that.
I was like,
Here, I'll stand on this stuff.
No, that's weird. That makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. I did hire a bodyguard. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that- What? Oh, this? I know, it's exciting. Wait, am I starting this? I think so. Am I starting this right now, or are we just gonna lower the lights?
Go to lower the line.
All right,
Ready? Actually,
I'm ready. I just sent a message out.
Oh, you're good.
There's a feeling that practitioners have been chasing for a long time. A depth, a pulse. You don't just measure it, you feel it. We've been chasing something too. You see, animal
Analog PEMF machines create their pulse through a spark chamber, 2 electrodes, a gap of air, and a burst of electricity that literally jumps between them. It's physical. It's visceral. Nothing quite feels like it. The spark chamber that makes analog feel so powerful has a fundamental problem. The electrodes erode, the gap widens. Your machine drifts stronger, then weaker, then unpredictable. You're always chasing consistency. You can never fully hold. Digital machines solved the maintenance problem. No spark chamber, no electrodes, no drift. But something got lost. Anyone who'd used analog would try a digital machine and say, it doesn't feel the same. And they were right. And we spent the last 8 years figuring out exactly why. The feeling wasn't coming from the spark chamber. It was coming from how power was stored, built, and released. That was the real problem. There was no power delivery system on the market that could do what we wanted it to do. To make the machines that we know and love feel the feeling we knew and loved. So we built it from scratch with years of development. It builds a substantial electrical reserve, releases it with force and precision, and recharges fast enough that the next pulse is ready. Immediately. Consistent. Pulse after pulse, session after session. No spark chamber, no electrode wear, no drift, no recalibration. Just the feeling we have always loved, delivered with the reliability that we've never had. The output feels like analog. The delivery is digital. And unlike any analog machine ever built, it never changes unless you change it. Analog practitioners didn't just love the power. They loved the feeling of control. There was a knob they could reach out, make a physical adjustment, and feel the machine respond. Well, we've built that back in. We've created the tune ring. Rotate to navigate, tap the screen to adjust, rotate again to set your value, and tap to lock it in. This is the knob that we've all loved and the power we've all loved to control, built into a digital system that makes it even more consistent, tactical, intuitive, and accurate. We've taken 8 years of research, education, and development and created true independent frequency control, as well as the feeling of analog without the analog problems. This is the M line. Everything we know about PEMF and everything you have told us you needed built into new technology, into one line. Now let me show you why you are going to love this machine. You got it? Hi, everybody. I think my mic's on. Okay, so that's the big announcement. Just gonna take a beat. It's been an emotional day. Anyways, this is so exciting for me. When we first went into manufacturing, which was in the basement of what is now a wellness club, and I was looking at the machines. I'm not an engineer, but I wanted to know why. Why can't we feel it like an analog and get the strength that we want? Why can't I understand the hertz right on the screen? Why can't we do this? And every single engineer that I spoke to, and I spoke to a lot at the time, told me it's not possible, the components don't exist. And that's the thing, see, the components don't exist, so then I had to say, but why? Why don't the components exist? Why aren't we making this? So we've created a patented power supply, and we explained it in the video. But what's really, really cool about it is it gives you that true consistency that we want in digital machines with the feel of Spark Chamber. It also has the remote control, and it works on the Duo, which I didn't think we could ever do. And it has the tune ring, so it's not exactly like a regular knob, but it does. I guess I could turn it on and show it to you since that's what we're doing here. Okay, so you can see it's pretty simply, it goes down to timer. This is the most exciting part, okay? So we're gonna go to power. I'm a little nervous, I'm shaking. Okay, you see there's a little circle over the 0. We're gonna turn it up. And on 1 there, it says Schumann only. So guess what that means? Schumann only. So that is the frequency that is most associated with the earth grounding, the Schumann resonance. So this means Schumann only. I probably should explain that since everybody doesn't know what Schumann means. Anyways, so let me go up a little bit more here. So you're gonna see on the screen where it says the frequency. So while you're on each setting, it's gonna adjust and you're gonna be able to see the frequency in real time. Now, many of you are like, okay. What's really cool about this is for clinical studies. If you are doing any type of documentation, the reason that we would never be able to get a Spark Chamber machine FDA cleared is because there isn't consistency. The drift makes it a variable, which means they have nothing to measure by. If you're doing any type of study, you have to measure, you have to set a line that you're measuring against. And this allows us to do that, and you all to do that at home. Like, you can actually document the hertz. What was comfortable for Steve today? Or the Bucket, Courtney's horse. What was comfortable for Bucket today? Okay, he was at 37.8 hertz. You can document that, and then maybe 3 or 4 days later, it's not just the number 2 or the number 5, it's actually the hertz written down. It allows you to track and understand the magnetic field so much more. Or at least it really did for me. Super exciting. All right, here's my favorite part. So when you touch it, oh, I did it again. You get the number to go away. We're gonna go down to settings. Go here. Okay, this is pretty cool. All right, so when you can turn the brightness up if you're blind. That's not, okay. So then right here, I'm gonna hold down on basic. And it switched to advanced. So let me tell you what advanced lets you do. So with a 3-second hold there, you can, I'm gonna put this down, it makes it easier. Okay, when you go up here now, and we're gonna go back like we're gonna start the machine again. So we're gonna go to power. We're gonna put it on a 4. I don't wanna fry that speaker. Okay, so what we're gonna do is gonna go up to start. Okay. It's clicking, but I'm gonna actually go to frequency, and I'm gonna change that. So I am going to actually manipulate the hertz myself within, and so you can see 2 has 3 different levels of hertz. So I'm still on the level 2, but I'm changing the speed, the frequency of the pulsing. So now you can actually manipulate the pulsing on each level to what is comfortable. So when we talk about dialing it in, everybody, I love my dial, I love to dial it in. We're gonna let you dial it in. Now here's the #1 problem with competitive machines that are competitive against this piece of equipment, or that do similar things. There is no basic mode. How do you train staff to operate the machine? How do you train anyone to operate the machine? If it's always in advanced and you're always having to dial in the frequency and the hertz, it becomes a madness because it's too many options. It's too much going on. But with this machine, you can do it if you want, but then you could also run it like a traditional digital machine every other time. So when you want to dig in and do some research and make some changes and really see what level of the number 2 is the animal comfortable with, you can do that by actually changing the hertz yourself. So you can see, now we're going to go back up to power. We'll get off hertz here. There we go. And now the hertz, I'm turning it up. 20. You start changing the speed. You've never been on a level 10 and been able to change the speed faster or slower. You can now. Okay, here's my favorite part. So I'm gonna say that 5 more times, that this is my favorite part. So what's really cool about this machine is that there's the remote control, but these remote controls work with any machine that has a remote control. So if you have one remote control, you can sync it to your other machine that has a remote control. It can switch back and forth between these 2 machines at the same time. So if I were to turn this one on, I would be able to control the remote with this one too. So it gives you a lot more variable if you have multiple machines. Okay, let me show you the other one. So this is the M40, and you're probably saying, Elaine, is it a new machine? Guys, this is new technology. I'm gonna change all of our machines to reflect this. So if it's a digital machine, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna be, over the next few years, I'm always gonna be innovating the line. I'm always gonna be trying to get better. This is not because I'm saying any other PMF machine or our machines are obsolete. All I'm saying is that I'm working towards making them the best that they can be, making them the way that you guys want them to operate, and making them the way that we can further the spread of PMF. We have to do more research. We have to do more case studies. We have to join together and document our results. That is the only way that we're going to be able to get this modality more accepted by the veterinarians, more understood, and more growth. So having machines like this where we can actually go to a researcher and say, we did a level 3 at this hertz for this time, we actually can start setting better standards, better protocol, and understand what we're working with more. Okay. This is the M20. So they only come in these 2 cases. The Duo is the Duo, and the M40, and then this right here is the M20. The reason that I love this case is because I can fit it in the overhead bin of an airplane. Okay, like I don't know if any of you all travel a lot. I do, a lot. And when I'm traveling, I want to take my machine with me, and I don't always want the smaller machine. Sometimes I need a bigger machine, and this fits perfectly in the overhead bin of an airplane. And because these are actually digital devices, and I'm going to demo this on somebody who has only ever used a spark chamber device in a minute, because I want him to feel it, and I want him to see what he thinks, because I think that what's really going to get you guys to understand is the feeling. Because it doesn't, not only do you have the ability to manipulate the frequency and the hertz, but you also have a machine that I would bet anybody in the world that they would, if they've only used spark chamber, they are not gonna know it's digital. And I'm not saying that the digital frequency and the feeling is bad. It's not bad. If that's all you've ever been around, then it's, most people who start with digital love digital, and most people who start with spark chamber love spark chamber, okay? It's all about what your first reference point is. What machine did you first use that was like, wow? You're always gonna go back to that moment. But my first machine that I ever used that was like, wow, was a spark chamber device. And I know a lot of people who crave that depth, there is just a feeling. So having the ability, you can make this feel like a regular digital device because you can change the frequency. You can, but there is no inconsistencies. Now there's another thing that I got rid of, which I'm in a love-hate relationship with, okay? This is a feature that I love-hate, you know? This feature allows us, hold on, let me pop it open, I'll show you. Oh, maybe? There we go. I can open it, I promise, guys. Okay, all right, so on this face, on this machine right here, there's one thing missing. And it's the power button. There's no on. It's just plugged in and it goes. Now, you're saying, Elaine, why would you do that? That's annoying. I know. But They don't break, okay? The number one component with electrical equipment with failures, and you can research this, is the power entry module. The on and off switch, it breaks the way we push it, the way we touch it. It is consistently a hard machine. 11% fail in all electronic devices. So I'm telling you that drove me nuts. Why can't, and especially when we're in a barn, we're at, there's dirt in there, you're pushing it, you have different people pushing it, that's gone. So what does that mean? The machines will sit for 5 minutes and then it powers itself off. All you have to do is touch the screen when it's plugged in and it turns itself back on. So now the on and off is literally the touch screen. There is no more on and off on the actual machine. And you guys, we are gonna see a huge amount of, my goal is that you never have to send a machine back, ever. I don't wanna see it. So this looks very much like the traditional Maya. Again, it has the tune ring. It's very, very, very functional, no power button, and these little wheels remove. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but also because I travel a lot, is because I need to drag it through an airport. These come on, these come off. So when you don't, you can carry it like a briefcase, but I really like to roll it, it makes it easier. But this is just a very simple way, and it's a space-saving option. And again, the goal here is that it never has to come back. Now, with that being said, we do have one thing that everybody has to know. These machines are making a large amount of electricity. Okay, we are creating a very big spark, okay, inside the machine, for lack of a better word to say it. And when we do that, gets hot inside the machines. So traditionally, another problem that we had was, how do we keep it cool? Other devices have really big cases with lots of air moving through them. A similar device that is in the medical field that is, $150,000. It's like this big, this wide, and they actually have coolant that circles around the power supply. So one of the cool things about ours is that it cools off very fast itself. It's part of the patent. But we're all gonna say this together, we don't leave them in hot cars. Okay? We don't leave them in hot cars. That's the only thing we don't do. We take it inside. We put it inside, and let me tell you what, it's also gonna keep your machine from getting stolen. Because I know at least 15 people who've had their back window broken over the last 20 years who've lost a machine. We don't leave it in hot cars, because if you get it out, you start using it, and it's already at 102 inside the machine, that's not great. It's not gonna break. It's not gonna break. Because we don't want to see it. It's just going to say, give me a break, I'm hot. Literally, on the machine. And you're going to have to let it cool down. But guess what? If we don't leave it in a hot car, then we're good. We're good. That's the rule. But I know some of you all are leaving your machines in the car. It is part of the process. I understand. I do it too sometimes. But not anymore. Not with this device. It is not a downside. It's just an extra couple steps inside. That's it. It's part of the process. And to have this amount, if I told you that your only downside was you can't turn it off with the traditional way, and you can't leave it in a hot car, but you don't have to send it back for repairs, you get the feeling of a spark chamber machine, you get a remote control, you can manipulate the hertz, that sounds like a pretty good trade in my mind. So we're doing our best constantly to get machines that are better, more functional, and less repair. And also, they're patented. This is our design. Everything in the machine is becoming more and more about how can we be better, how can we do better, and how can we keep people from ripping us off. So we don't want, that's gonna happen, right? But I want you guys to be rest assured, there is nobody in the world making machines like this. There is nothing on the market that is as strong, as unique, and as portable as our equipment. There is nothing more portable out there. There is nothing more effective. And I don't care what anybody says on Facebook. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna really quickly, Todd, is Todd here? Come here. So Todd told me today that he's never felt a digital machine. And I was like, ooh, I've got a job for you. Take a seat, sir. Yeah, take your keys in your...
Yeah, it's off.
Okay, it's out.
My phone's out. The only thing I have is this, my glasses. Okay.
Now I'm gonna start low, sir, and then I'm gonna slowly turn it up. And you're gonna let me know what you feel. So tell me, what do you have at home?
Julian Duo.
Okay, sit back. This is so fun. Hey, he's all right. He's watching it. It's fine.
If it blows up, it blows up. It just means I don't have to worry about time anymore.
Yeah, I wish that's how it worked. Start. There we go. You're on Schumann only.
Okay. And I go up pretty high.
Okay. Well, what?
I'm usually at like 14.
Dang.
And I feel that. I mean,
You feel it?
yeah.
So would you usually stop right here, or would you keep going?
No, I'd probably go a little higher.
Okay.
I'm a glutton for punishment. We have 10 kids. So
He does have 10 kids.
yeah, I'm trying to get rid of myself.
Shit, I thought I was gonna knock it over. What if I knocked it off? That would probably make for a good, yeah.
That feels like my machine.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? And you know what you're on?
Yeah.
11.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not even all the way up. Isn't that great?
It's awesome.
All right, you all want to feel it too, don't you? Yeah, I know. So listen, right now in the test drive area, machines are coming out right now for you all to test drive. So you're going to be able to go out there. They're going to be out for the whole entire week. We're going to do, I know it's upsetting when something new comes out and you just bought something. All right? It happens, all right? You wouldn't believe it. Toyota just did it to me. I was so mad about it, okay? But what I want to say is, it is the worst when they change the whole body style, but it happens. Okay, listen. So what we're going to do is we are going to do our best to make it work for you guys, okay? We are going to do trade-ins. We are going to negotiate. We're going to make you happy. If you want to get this machine, we're going to make it happen. We are manufacturing them right now. We have been testing this. Again, I asked the question why 8 years ago, okay? We started developing these machines, really building them 3 years ago, and I've been testing them. There's several people in the room. Is Maureen in here? Hey, girl. Maureen's been testing one for a very long time. Several people, we've been field testing this for over a year. So the machines are fantastic. We've honed them in. It's changed a lot, and she knows that. But yeah, we're going to do our best. They're shipping in 10 to 12 weeks, okay? We are taking pre-orders. All of the pricing is going to be available with the practitioners. I'm not doing rentals, but it will come out. And the goal here, guys, is to simplify the line of machines, make the machines better quality, longer lasting, and easier to study, research, and use. So having the ability to be able to do that, I think is going to be a really big gift once you start seeing how cool it is to manipulate it this way, okay? I'm actually going to take a couple questions. Okay, yep. You, right there.
Me?
Yeah.
I actually have two.
Okay.
Can we use our Jackery with it?
Yeah,
And the M20, you said has remote control as well?
yeah,
Those were them?
that's it.
I guess my question is you're bringing it out under the Magnawave brand rather than the Aura brand. Can you talk to us about the decision there?
Yeah, so we can't bring anything under the Orwell brand that is not FDA cleared.
Okay, so it's not in registration?
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, I'm working towards it right now,
Okay.
but it takes time to add
Totally.
more machines, to add it in. So
Got it.
it's easier to bring it to the veterinary market. It's faster. It still requires a lot of safety testing and all of the UL, the BSI and all of the testing that has to be done. But, because we are a medical device manufacturer for animals. But yeah, it's just gonna take time, and with the FDA, that could be, you know, that 2 years to get FDA clearance was the longest 9 years of my life. So,
Exactly. It's a huge development. Congratulations.
thank you.
How long is the cool down cycle?
Oh, like 3 minutes. tops. And sometimes it's even less than that. Depends on how hot it is. Yeah, I mean, if you're it's fine outside in hot weather, and it might need a cool down after 4, like let's say you do 3 to 4 horses, you might need to give it 3 minutes. It cools itself down really, really well, that's what I would see if I was in Arizona treating. A 3-minute break, but you will also have to go to the bathroom. So if you're gonna be working and doing 3 or 4 horses, you probably gotta pee, okay? So like it's totally easy to just let it cool down for a second. Yeah.
Can you tell me the power on the duo and the
Oh my
single,
God, I forgot
please?
the Gauss. It is, I forgot to say that. Okay, these are 50% stronger than the Julian. So this machine is 12,950 Gauss. Both of them are. So, but you have it times 2 over here. So 12,950, 12,000, this is 12,950. This is by far our strongest machine. Oh my God, I also forgot something else. So there's infrared in the coils, okay? So the coils have full infrared. They are putting out a warming light. So it's, again, it's not visible, it's on the spectrum of light, but it is incredible when you use this machine how much animals relax. It does not get too hot, but it is very cool. And we started that with the Maya line. So this is something that we've been doing. That's why I forgot to say that it also has that feature. No, all the coils work except the ones I didn't manufacture. So before, if you have coils that were prior manufacturing, maybe, I don't know, but everything that I've ever manufactured will work. Most of them will, it's just randomly some of them don't, and I don't know why. Where?
I have a quick question. How much do they weigh?
Oh, I don't know. Do we have an exact, Marissa, do we have an exact number?
Are they heavy?
They're not light, but it's heavier than the Semi-10. I mean, I'm not strong. So let's see. It doesn't have it on the inside. I'll get you the exact weight, but I'd say 30 pounds, 25, 30 pounds. Yeah, like the Soul Pro. That's a really good question. I should have studied that one before.
Will it go down to the level that is approved by FEI?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the first 3 levels are. So Schumann, 1, 2, the FEI, look. I'm not gonna talk about it right now on stage, but if you wanna talk about it with me, I would be happy to do a workshop or talk, like sidebar with a group of you. If anybody wants to talk about the FEI, because I've got lots to say, I have a very big opinion. I've sent them certified letters, I've asked questions. I just want clarity on what they are talking about and what they want us to do, because we'd be happy to comply. So we've done everything that we can within our realm to give them what they need. They do not certify machines. Anyways, I could go on and on. We'll let the FEI go for now. Sidebar.
Hey, Elaine, we have a question from the virtual audience.
Yeah.
How does the machine know not to send a pulse through the attachment if it doesn't have a power switch? Does that make sense?
Because it turns itself off.
With the coil detection?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. So it has coil detection. And I think that's why some of the older coils, like from PEMF, never mind, I didn't say that out loud. From the other companies, the other company that we used to be a distributor for, their coils, we have a system. So if you have an older Max machine, when you pull the coils out, if it pulses, it will sound like a gunshot went off. I don't know if you know, but like that's not great around horses, you know? So we really wanted to get rid of that immediately. Like that was step 1 the day I started manufacturing. I'm like, we gotta make sure these don't sound like guns or like randomly. So what's really cool about this is not only does it know what coil is plugged in because of the firmware inside, but it also sends a consistent Gauss out on every single coil. So in the past with spark chamber devices, what a large loop feels like and a butterfly loop the actual amount of Gauss changes because it's only putting out one strength, right? With this machine, it adjusts the amount of electricity that it's putting out based on what coil is plugged in. So every single attachment is as consistent and the same amount of Gauss as every single other one.
Hi, I have a question on the screen and the dial. For those of us practitioners who are visually impaired, is there any haptic feedback or tactile feedback when turning the dial, when touching the screen? Is
Yeah.
there any way that it can beep or something to let me know audibly that it's turned up or I've made a change in the system?
That is not a problem. We can make the right now, yes, there's haptic feedback when you're turning the dial and when you're selecting the buttons. It is a feature. So we would easily just, right now it's not on for every single machine, but we would just have to, when you put your order in, we just have to turn that on. And if you want a sound, or if you know, if there's something that we can do to make it better, I'd be happy to make that happen. But I did put brightness, because you know, it's hard to use.
Does a Schumann resonance through every setting on this, or just the first one?
Every setting, and then the first one. So it's underneath. There's always, every digital machine that we manufacture, there is the actual pulse of the magnetic field that you're feeling, and then the Schumann running underneath it. So that's with every single digital machine. This one has just the Schumann only on level 1 if you want it. Because some people are sensitive and they just want to ground. So let's say you've had a long day and you're working on a dog that you've already worked on a lot, and you don't want to, they're tired. You could just let them Schumann only to help ground them and make them feel better without actually giving them another session. It's relaxing.
So my understanding is that there's no maintenance as to sending it back like you would spark chamber. I know when I had gotten the Maya, there was firmware updates. Will this have that same similar thing with like a firmware update?
Okay, so hopefully, well, here's the deal. Yes, the firmware will update as the machine, as we learn new things, but it will not be required. So when your machine comes in, I would still recommend sending it in to get tuned up every 2 years, or at least every once in a while, to get it cleaned, tuned up, and let us update the firmware. But it's not required maintenance unless we find something. This could happen with any electrical that is a failure, which is why I tested it for 3 years, so we didn't have that problem. But sometimes we may, for example, if we were to make changes that were better for the disabilities, for people with disabilities, you would have the option to add it, but there's no required firmware updates. And there's, like, you still want to, it's like anything. I can't guarantee the machine is never going to come back, you guys. Electrical things fail. It's the #1 thing. TVs, cell phones, they fail. But we're doing our best to make sure that doesn't happen with something that is extremely difficult to do that with because of the amount of power that we're bringing in the machine. We are actually doing such force in there that by nature it's damaging. So by creating products and building the machine, we're always learning to make them better. But my goal is that you're not at a show and a machine breaks, and then you're like, oh my God, this could not be worse. Like, I hate that, right? I'd rather you just sending it in for regular maintenance when you go on vacation every once in a while, just to make sure your firmware is good and it's up to date.
All right, we've got 2 more questions here.
Okay.
I'm noticing with this Duo here, and you only have 1 set of leads on it, is that okay to always run it that way?
Yeah.
Because I know with the Julian Duo I have now, it's required to have both going on.
That's because of the sound thing. So if you accidentally hit the wrong side, we've never had it happen, but because the power is going to both sides and you hit the button, we don't want there to be any type of feedback or somebody to stick something into a spark chamber machine. But it's not that it still knows if there's an attachment there. We just don't want that to happen with a spark chamber device. But every single machine since we released the Maya Duo, they all can be used separately. I mean, you don't have to ever have any of the digital machines. You do not have to have the coils plugged in on both.
All right, last question.
Have the people that have tested these machines and, like, I don't know how long they've had them, have any of them had any experience with failure with the screens themselves? Have they failed at all?
Oh, I'm sure.
Do you just reset it?
We failed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it took 3 years. I mean, we had problems with the way that we wired it, the way that it's not, It's not something that we know exactly how you guys are going to use it in the field until you get it in the field. So what we think is easy to do, or we think the arrangement needs to be, it doesn't always work like that. And sometimes when you get in there, we may lay out the entire machine. There's, things are heavier than others. And then we learn that shipping is going to cause this to never be successful getting where it goes. So we've tested these machines longer than I've tested any other machine. But we have not had any that have failed within the last year. I mean, we've been using them. We have not had any failures that have been catastrophic. And I picked this one because according to what we've read and what we've seen from the suppliers, this is the best and most consistent configuration of any one that I could find. So I wanted to have the knob, but I also really like touchscreen. I think that's nice. I think it's cool. But also, a lot of people are like, I don't like that. But we have a remote control. So you can always use the remote control if you don't love the touchscreen or you have gloves on or something like that.
Will the app work with the remote as well?
The mobile app, it will.
Elaine,
Yeah.
do you want to give one of these away?
Yeah. What? I'm giving one away.
Nope. Here we go. So we got an M series machine. Wow. Value over 25K.
I know.
We're gonna.
It's the Duo.
Oh my goodness. Wow. All right, so we're gonna bring up the screen. We're gonna bring up the dial.
It's so exciting. Thank you, Todd.
And then it's also exciting because you're either gonna win the machine or you're not, but everybody still gets to go to cocktail hour.
Yay! And you can go try it. All right.
I love it. So let's bring it up. Let's do it. Let's find out who's gonna win.
Oh my God, this is so nerve-wracking.
Our $1,000 sound effect.
Shailene
Bigler.
She here?
Oh my goodness, she's in the house! Woo! Come on down.
Are you excited?
That is yours.
Yeah, here, give me a hug. Hold on.
Get out of town. All right, I think that is the note to close it down. That's a good note to close down day one. Day one. So we'll see everybody outside and we'll do some cocktails together and socialize. Sound
Yay!
good? So